Hi, my name is Steve Hanson. I'm president and CEO of ACME Lithium, and I'm here at the 121 Mining Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good to see you today, Merlin.
Good to see you too, Steve. I was there last year. I thought it was quite a good conference. Apart from being in a hellhole of a place, the actual conference for me worked quite well last year. How's it going for you?
Well, it's been a busy time. The mood's been pretty decent. There's been quite a bit of interest, in particular in battery metals and lithium. I had a very full day yesterday and already started my day today. So happy to be able to get this brief interview in between meetings. So again, I'm feeling pretty positive about the people I've met. I met a couple of shareholders as well, and again, excited to continue my presentations for the remainder of the day.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because when you look at the short-term lithium market, there's a kind of a bit of a wobble and there's lots of uncertainty around in the market. Longer term, medium and longer term, the fundamentals look excellent. What's the conversation like when you speak to potential investors or existing investors in the lithium market? I mean, do they acknowledge that it's wobbly at the moment and that they're looking longer term? You know, how do they frame that particular aspect of the current situation?
Well, certainly the theme yesterday and even early today has been, and probably no different than at other conferences, is they're looking for particular projects that have upside and are being de-risked and have development potential. They're looking for management teams with a track record, and they're looking for companies that have access to capital as well. Not only are investors just looking to deploy capital, they're looking for companies that are backed by savvy investors. And so we tick all those boxes. Again, I think there are the ups and downs of the overall market. There's certainly volatility. I, like you, are certainly bullish for the long term. We're just keeping our heads down in operations, continuing to hopefully perform and drive the fundamentals of the business. And, I think certainly we've had a decent start to the year. We want to continue to meet milestones and have, important catalysts this year. So, in communicating with new investors, I think they are, maybe they're looking a little bit more pickier than they were last year, but they are looking for the right type of projects backed by good management teams.
And what's the attendance like there this year? Are you seeing A, what are the numbers like, and B, what's the representation? Are you speaking to funds, or is it more kind of retail or high net worth investors?
Yeah, I would say attendance is slightly down this year, but there is a good crowd, a cross section of fund managers, family offices, some bankers as well, and then also some strategics too, companies that are actually looking to partner or joint venture with maybe companies they have or they have access to. So a broad range of interest, and so far it's gone quite well.
Is there any comment? I mean, has there been chat in the bars about the Albemarle rejected acquisition that they were trying to do in Australia?
Well, I mean, I think it continues to show that there's a need for the commodity, and that there's companies around the world are scrambling to find product, and so it's a good macro event to take place. I think lithium stocks jumped around the world on that news. It's been a lot of M&A activity actually over the last couple of years, and I think we're going to see that continue, certainly for quality projects. So many of these large players, they look at the long term. They're looking for, where are we going to get feedstock, not in the next 2, 3, 4 years, but where are we going to get it in the next 5 to 10 years? So we have to look at things long term. We're in a perpetual deficit for many years to come. The growth in this industry is unbelievable, and as demand for EVs, hybrids, grid storage, and then our technology we use every day, from our phones to our laptops to power tools to e-bikes, all those kind of things, the demand for lithium is going to continue to grow. And I think we're going to continue to see capital flow into this sector in record numbers.
Good. Well, thank you for the kind of the macro review. You've been busy on a company level. Do you want to just give me some of the kind of recent events that you've you've carried out, probably from the drill hole in Clayton Valley, and also the new acquisition in Fish Lake, and possibly even an update from Manitoba as well. But over to you for an update, please.
We've got a great portfolio of projects in North America. We've got 2 in Nevada. We're northwest of Albemarle Silver Peak project. We're in the midst of a phase 2 drill program that's ongoing, and we hope to have updates to shareholders and investors. Rolling announcements over the next few months as results start to come in. We'll continue to update. So again, I hope to be on site actually on Friday. So I'll be there firsthand to take a look and see how things are going. And then to the west over the foothills, we have our Fish Lake Valley project, which is next to one of the world's largest lithium-boron projects run by Ioneer. We're contiguous to that on the west side. We've had some of the highest surface samples to date announced this first quarter. We've recently expanded that project in adding further acreage to our southwest. Sorry, a bit of background noise here. So expanding that project is important. As we continue to advance that project. We hope to drill that sometime in 2023. We've got good geophysics, good sampling on surface, and looking forward to some key milestones upcoming this year.
You say drill that in 2023. I thought you've wanted to farm that out in the past when we've spoken about it. That's been a partnership project that you've been looking at. Is that still the case?
Well, we're drilling in Clayton Valley. We're drilling in Manitoba, and we have a portfolio of projects. And part of my job as CEO is to create value for the company, and there's a number of ways to do that. We can use our own capital to drill projects, or we can seek like-minded partners that bring not just capital, but know-how and experience to the table. So, certainly Fish Lake has attracted a lot of attention because of its location and recently some of the announcements we've made. So, in fact, there are some groups that are interested. We'll continue that dialogue, and possibly one day down the road we can have some form of partnership that will benefit our shareholders for the long run. Okay,
good. And you have just completed a hole at Clayton Valley. You've just completed in your phase 2 drill program, so that's gone down to the full depth, and you'll be running pump tests, I presume, and reservoir tests on that over the coming weeks and months. Is that right?
This is a core hole. This is a core hole that we drilled that was twinning basically DH1, and we wanted to go deeper this time to 2,000 feet. So my announcement related to reaching total depth. We've had ongoing geophysics downhole. There is some testing that we're doing on it to understand the lithology. That's ongoing right now, and I'll have an update at the end of this week. Once this is complete, the plan is to move to a test well. So this is a wider diameter hole that will be nearby, and that test well, we call it TW1, will include a pump test. So again, this core hole was really to drill deeper and understand the lithology and what was going on between 1,400 feet and 2,000 feet. And then the test well will be our next step. So again, and then assuming we're successful, and again, we don't know if we are, but if we are to be successful with this ongoing program, our plan is to step out and do 2 more exploration holes. So a fairly major program, one of the biggest ones to take place in Clayton Valley for brine in recent years, and hopefully we'll have good results.
And will the update at the end of the week tell us whether the test well goes down to 1,400 feet or 2,000 feet? Is that information going to be released when the update comes out?
Well, again, I'll correct myself here. The plan is I will be getting an update with my team on the ground. Work may be ongoing at the time. We'll see whether there is information there that is appropriate to announce. Again, I'm just doing a site visit to see, and with my technical team, ongoing planning and so forth. So I'm also bringing down a couple board members as well who haven't visited the site yet. So we're then going to go over to Fish Lake Valley. We'll have a tour of that project, and again, looking forward to it. I haven't been on site for a few months, so looking forward to working with my team and doing some planning over the winter.
Great. That sounds like a good use of time since you're down there already. Looking ahead for the year, in your meetings that you've got ongoing over this day and yesterday and today, what are you kind of flagging as your key deliverables for 2023 in the remaining 3 quarters of the year?
Well, everything in the fall really led up to this moment, and the key here as an investor is, and one of the most exciting times to be an investor is when companies are drilling. So, in fact, we're drilling on 2 projects. I think make it really interesting. We're drilling our brine project, obviously, in Clayton Valley. We're drilling hard rock pegmatites in Manitoba. It's part of a winter program. So, we're hoping that Mother Earth pays off here for us and we have success with the drill bit. And this is really where the rubber hits the road. So we will have rolling news into the spring. The goal here really at Clayton Valley is that we have a successful drill program. We have a successful test well and pump test. I mean, those are the initiatives that we want to accomplish. And there's no guarantee this is going to happen, but that's certainly what we want to accomplish with the capital being spent. And then ultimately, the goal here is to get to an initial resource. And so that's a key milestone that I want to achieve here. Again, we hopefully that we'll have the goods, and the goal here is to get to a resource ultimately at Clayton Valley. And with success with the drill bit, we're hoping that can happen sometime in 2023. I hope to get a collaboration at Fish Lake Valley completed this year. And then we'll start a summer program in Saskatchewan. We've got a district-sized land position with known lithium-bearing pegmatites in boulder trains and an outcrop on surface. I'll have a team with boots on the ground there in July and August, and looking forward to exploring this new area, which is a really exciting opportunity for us.
And remind me what the excuse me, there's a bit of background noise here. Remind me what the drilling is, where it's got to in Manitoba.
So we commenced this program. It's a winter drill program. We're just south of the Tanko mine, which is an operating LCT, lithium, cesium, tantalum pegmatite mine. It's owned by a very large Chinese company called Sino Mine. We are one of the largest landholders directly south of the Tanko mine. We're actually contiguous to their mineral leases. Their power lines actually run right through our project, and very little exploration had been done historically in this region. We did some mapping and geophysical geochem work in the summer, and then went through a permitting process and ultimately led to this maiden drill program. So that's ongoing. We are in the, I would say, late stages of that program. It starts to get pretty soft in there. Winter drilling means you can drill on ice, and there's a fair bit of water in that region, so it makes it actually pretty convenient. But it's been a tough winter weather-wise too. It's not for the faint at heart when you're there, and but we've managed to get holes down, and again we'll be sending core samples off to the lab, and looking forward to getting results out to our shareholders, and hopefully we'll make a discovery. Well,
when you say it's been tough weather, is that a mixture of very cold and quite mild? So it's kind of been soggy and then freezing.
Yeah, it's been early in January. We had a fairly mild, or all through January, fairly mild winter for that region. It typically is very cold, and so as a result, there was a fair bit of fog and some softening, and then we've had some very cold weather too. But we've had a competent team, and all of our contractors and those that work with us have risen to the occasion, and this isn't an easy business, and so you have to face some adversity, whether you're in the jungle in South America, or whether you're in the Andes or whether you're in the Arctic or wherever it is. This is not easy work, and but if you've got the right people and can problem solve, you make sure that you get through it, and we've been able to do that. The odd hiccup here and there, but again, we've been so far moving forward and getting core into the box, as they say.
It attracts a certain kind of person to work in the field, and and that's why many people go to study geology, because they love mountains and getting out there. But tomorrow you're still in the city. Tomorrow you've got you're on you're at some kind of EV conference. I'd be really interested to. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I mean, it sounds like a kind of quite a far remove from the wilds of Manitoba.
Well, Maxim Group, their investment bank based out of New York, has invited me to speak on a panel, and the day focuses on electric vehicles and the battery market, and I'm on a mining and and EVs panel. It focuses on the upstream side of things, the extraction side of things, and the exploration side of things when it comes to sourcing critical minerals. And so, I've been fortunate that this is the second time that they've invited me onto a panel for their conferences. It means that, maybe I didn't do so bad of a job the first time around, but I'm looking forward to discussing with panelists and a moderator. One of their analysts is going to be moderating, and we'll talk about the EV market and battery minerals and in particular lithium. So looking forward to that event tomorrow while I'm here down in Nevada, and then obviously heading to site for Friday, and looking forward to getting to Clayton Valley and to Fish Lake Valley as well.
Good. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to give me the update. I really appreciate it.
Merlin, always a pleasure. And again, good to see you.